Welcome to Whispers and Confessions. There might be a twist waiting, so please make sure to watch until the end. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Let's begin right away.
Her gentle nature and warm presence had a way of making all my worries melt away. At 68, having just retired, I found myself searching for a new purpose in life. That's when I decided to start volunteering at a local nursing home. On my first day, I was greeted by several welcoming staff members at the entrance, but one person in particular caught my attention. Her name was Sophia Thompson, a 66-year-old retired librarian who, like me, had found fulfillment in community service. Her bright smile immediately drew me in. "Hello, I'm Owen Smith. I'll be volunteering here starting today." I introduced myself. "Welcome, Mr. Owen. I'm Sophia Thompson, another volunteer here." "It's a pleasure to meet you," she responded warmly. Our connection grew naturally from that day forward. Every morning, I'd look forward to greeting her with a cheerful "Good morning, Sophia," and she'd always respond with that radiant smile of hers, "Good morning, Owen." While working together in the facility's garden one afternoon, she asked, "Owen, are you interested in gardening?" I replied, "Actually, I picked it up after retirement. There's something so peaceful about tending to plants." Her face lit up as she said, "That's wonderful. I'm a flower enthusiast myself." Her enthusiasm was contagious, and I found myself opening up more as we worked side by side in the garden, chatting with residents. I couldn't help but be drawn to Sophia's outgoing personality and genuine kindness. One day, we spontaneously decided to grab coffee after our volunteer shift. As we sat in the facility's cafeteria, she asked, "So, Owen, how's retirement treating you?" I responded honestly, life hasn't changed dramatically, but volunteering here has given me something to look forward to." She nodded understandingly and said, "I feel the same way. This place gives me a sense of purpose." After that, our coffee breaks became a regular thing. Then one day, Sophia took the initiative. "Would you like to join me for lunch today?" My heart lifted as I replied, "I'd love nothing more." Our lunch dates became precious moments where we shared stories about our lives and interests. Time seemed to fly whenever we were together. Her vibrant personality and thoughtful nature made every interaction special. One day, she caught me off guard by saying, "Owen, I really enjoy our conversations." Those simple words filled me with warmth. Meeting Sophia had become the highlight of my days, helping to ease the loneliness that often comes with retirement. I found myself looking forward to every opportunity to volunteer alongside her. Each time we saw each other, our smiles grew warmer and our connection deeper. Sophia had become my gateway to a new chapter in life, bringing fresh hope and possibility. As my feelings for her grew, I found myself looking for more ways to spend time with her, often helping with the residents she cared for. Through these shared experiences, our bond continued to strengthen. During one of our volunteer shifts, I noticed Sophia struggling to maneuver a resident's wheelchair by herself. Without hesitation, I rushed over. "Sophia, let me give you a hand with that," I offered. Though initially surprised, her face softened with gratitude as she said, "Thank you, Owen. That's so kind of you." From then on, we worked as a team more often, naturally finding more opportunities to spend time together as we cared for the residents. The more we talked, the more I found myself captivated by her compassionate nature. One day, she touched my heart by saying, "Owen, I really appreciate your help today. Thank you for always being there." I responded sincerely, "It's my pleasure, Sophia. I truly enjoy working with you." Her face brightened with a smile that I'll never forget. Later, while taking some residents for a walk on a beautiful sunny day, I couldn't help but think how perfect life felt, strolling beside Sophia and chatting with our elderly friends. "What beautiful weather we're having today," Sophia remarked, and I couldn't help but agree. "I hope so too. It's perfect for a day like this." Just being near her made everything around me seem more vibrant and alive. Later that afternoon, I noticed Sophia tackling a mountain of paperwork by herself, clearly showing signs of fatigue. Without hesitation, I walked over. "Hey, Sophia, you look like you could use a hand," I offered warmly. She glanced up with grateful eyes but hesitated. "That's sweet of you, Owen. But aren't you swamped yourself?" I smiled reassuringly. "Don't worry about it. That's what friends are for, right?" Working together, we made quick work of the task. "Thank you so much for your help," she sighed contentedly. "It means so much having you here." From that moment on, our bond deepened naturally. Each day brought us closer as we spent more time together, sharing coffee breaks filled with heartfelt conversations. Sophia had this wonderful way of listening, completely present and genuinely interested in everything I had to say. She'd open up too, sharing her own stories with refreshing honesty. With each interaction, I could feel something special blossoming between us. One particularly memorable evening, we found ourselves watching the sunset from the nursing home's garden. "Owen," she said softly, "I really cherish these moments with you." My heart warmed as I replied, "I feel exactly the same way, Sophia. There's just something so peaceful about being together." In that quiet moment, we both seemed to realize how precious our connection had become. Our friendship had evolved into something truly special. We'd become each other's rock, sharing both life's joys and challenges. These days had become the highlight of my life, and I found myself constantly looking forward to our next meeting. As time passed, I couldn't deny the growing feelings in my heart. The more we were together, the stronger these emotions became. Finally, gathering my courage one day after our volunteer shift, I decided to take a chance. My heart racing, I turned to her and asked, "Sophia, would you like to have dinner with me this Saturday?" She looked surprised for a moment, then her face lit up with that beautiful smile of hers as she replied, "I'd love to." My heart skipped a beat at her response. Saturday evening arrived, and I headed out early to pick her up, having made reservations at a highly recommended restaurant downtown. When she opened her door, I was struck speechless. She looked absolutely stunning in an elegant dress, perfectly accessorized. "Wow, Sophia, you look beautiful," I managed to say. She blushed slightly, responding with a shy, "Thank you, Owen. You look very handsome tonight." The restaurant welcomed us with intimate lighting and a cozy atmosphere as we were led to our quiet corner table. We took our time perusing the menu, eventually settling on seafood pasta for her and steak for me. While waiting for our food, conversation flowed naturally to memories of the past. Sophia shared stories about her late husband and her daughter's move to Canada. "Since my daughter got married and moved up north, it's been pretty lonely," she admitted, then added with a warm smile, "But meeting you has brought so much joy back into my life." I couldn't help but beam. "I feel exactly the same way, Sophia. Getting to know you has been incredible." Our meals arrived, and we savored both the delicious food and each other's company. As we talked about our lives and dreams for the future, Sophia's eyes sparkled. "I hope we can share many more evenings like this," she said softly. My heart full, I replied, "Nothing would make me happier. Being with you just feels right, Sophia." We lingered over cheesecake and coffee for dessert, our conversation growing more animated and comfortable. Every time she smiled, I felt my affection for her grow stronger. After dinner, I insisted on walking her home, enjoying the cool evening breeze and easy conversation. "Thank you for such a wonderful evening, Owen," she said as we reached her door. "The pleasure was all mine," I replied sincerely. As I prepared to leave, I couldn't help but add hopefully, "We should do this again soon." My heart felt both light and heavy as I said goodnight, already looking forward to our next time together. Sophia's eyes sparkled as she said, "Yes, absolutely." Her smile etched itself permanently in my memory. Back home, I hadn't felt this way in such a long time. Who would have thought I could experience such powerful emotions at this stage of life? That dinner with Sophia marked a turning point, deepening my feelings for her in ways I hadn't anticipated. In the weeks that followed, Sophia and I began spending more time together. Our weekends fell into a comfortable rhythm of leisurely walks in the park and movie dates. As each day passed, my feelings grew more certain. One particularly beautiful Saturday afternoon, we found ourselves strolling through Central Park. The spring sunshine cast a gentle glow, and flowers bloomed in every direction. "This place is absolutely magical," Sophia remarked, her eyes taking in the scenery. "It really is," I agreed. "But having you here makes it even more special." A slight blush colored her cheeks as she responded, "You're quite the charmer," though her smile grew even more radiant. We settled onto a park bench with our coffee cups, falling into easy conversation. Sophia shared stories about her daughter and cherished memories of her late husband. As I listened, her compassionate nature and genuine spirit shone through every word. "Owen," she said softly, "it's been ages since I've connected with someone like this." My heart warmed as I replied, "I know exactly what you mean. There's just something so peaceful about being with you, Sophia." Our adventures together multiplied. At the movies, we enjoyed everything from timeless classics to the latest releases, always eager to share our thoughts afterward. Sometimes she'd get misty-eyed during particularly moving scenes, which touched me deeply. "Your sensitive soul is beautiful, Sophia," I'd say, and she'd respond with that heartwarming smile. "Everything's more meaningful when I share it with you, Owen." Day by day, we grew more precious to each other. Her smile became my daily reminder of just how deeply I'd fallen for her. Every moment we shared felt like a gift, more valuable than anything else in my world. During another park visit, walking beneath the trees with spots of sunlight, our conversation naturally turned to what lay ahead. "Owen, I hope we can keep sharing moments like these," Sophia said softly. I felt incredible as I replied, "I'd love nothing more." "You make every day brighter, Sophia." Our eyes met in that moment, expressing feelings that words couldn't capture. Finding my courage, I gently took her hand and spoke from my heart. "Sophia, you bring me more joy than I ever thought possible. I want us to stay together." Though surprised at first, her face soon lit up with that beautiful smile as she squeezed my hand and said, "I feel exactly the same way, Owen. You fill my heart with warmth." My emotions overflowing, I held her hand tighter as we walked slowly, dreaming about our future together. What had begun as friendship had blossomed into something deeper, more precious than either of us had expected. This marked the beginning of our new chapter together. With each passing day, my love for Sophia grew stronger, and I thanked my lucky stars for bringing such an incredible gift into my life. She had filled my future with hope and joy I never thought I'd find again. Later that evening, we sat in her cozy living room, sharing coffee and conversation. The soft glow of the table lamp created an intimate atmosphere, while a gentle breeze whispered outside. Usually, our evenings were filled with laughter, but tonight felt different. I noticed a shadow of sadness cross Sophia's face. "Owen, would you mind if I shared something serious with you?" she asked, her voice carrying a weight I hadn't heard before. I nodded earnestly. "Of course, Sophia. I'm here to listen to anything you want to tell me." She took a deep breath, gathering her thoughts before beginning. "It's been more than a decade since I lost my husband. He had a sudden heart attack. There was no warning, no chance to say goodbye. After so many years together, I felt completely lost." Her eyes welled up with tears as she continued, "Then my daughter moved to Canada. Of course, I wanted her to follow her dreams, but the loneliness was overwhelming. Even with video calls and phone chats, nothing could bridge that physical distance." She confided that coming home to an empty house each day left her with a loneliness that words couldn't describe how she felt. My heart broke hearing these words, and I felt a deep ache in my chest imagining the overwhelming solitude Sophia must have endured. "Sophia, I can only begin to imagine how challenging that period must have been for you," I said softly. As she wiped away her tears, she looked at me with grateful eyes. "Meeting you, Owen, it's like finding a lifeline. You've brought such comfort into my life." Moved by her words, I gently took her hand in mine. I feel exactly the same way, I shared. Being with you is helping me heal from my own past. Taking a deep breath, I decided to open up about my own story. You know, I've been through some tough times too. My marriage ended in divorce when I was younger. I was climbing the corporate ladder as a department head, putting in endless hours at the office, and completely neglected my family life. That eventually led to the breakdown of my marriage. After the divorce, I spent countless nights alone, wrestling with loneliness and regret. Sophia listened intently, her eyes filled with understanding. "Oh, Owen," she said softly, "that must have been incredibly difficult. I truly understand how that feels." Her empathy touched me deeply. We've both been through our share of hardships, I reflected, but there's something healing about sharing these stories with someone who understands. Sophia nodded in agreement. "You're absolutely right. Talking about it with you has lifted such a weight from my heart." We stayed up late that night, sharing our stories of pain and resilience. As we opened up about our past struggles, our connection grew stronger. Through our mutual understanding and support, we began to see the possibility of a brighter future together. That evening reaffirmed just how precious Sophia had become to me, and how being with her had given my life new purpose. We drifted off to sleep that night with hearts full of warmth and the comfort of knowing we'd found something special in each other. A few days later, I invited Sophia over for dinner at my place. Despite it being a regular weeknight, I felt butterflies in my stomach. Just the thought of her visit brought an involuntary smile to my face. When the doorbell chimed, I hurried to answer it. Sophia stood there with a shy smile, greeting me with a warm, "Hello, Owen." I welcomed her inside, saying, "I'm so glad you could make it." She held up a bottle of wine, adding, "I brought something for us to share." Together in the kitchen, we began preparing dinner: steak, salad, and a simple dessert. Sophia looked adorable in my spare apron as she started on the salad. "I'll handle the steak," she offered confidently, showing her cooking skills. We worked in perfect sync, our conversation flowing naturally as we moved around the kitchen. Her laughter and smile filled the space with warmth. "This is so much fun, cooking together," she commented, to which I replied, "Everything's more enjoyable when I'm with you, Sophia." Once everything was ready, we set the table together. Sophia's eyes lit up at the spread before us. "This looks amazing," she exclaimed. "It's bound to taste even better since we made it together," I responded as we raised our glasses in a toast. Over dinner, we shared stories and dreams, our conversation continuing as we moved to the living room afterward with our wine. "Thank you for such a wonderful evening, Owen," Sophia said warmly. I squeezed her hand gently, responding, "Being with you makes every moment special." As the wine loosened our inhibitions, our conversation grew more intimate. Finally, I gathered my courage to express what I'd been feeling. "Sophia," I began, my heart racing, "I need to tell you something. I love you. You bring such joy to my life." She looked surprised for a moment before her face softened into a beautiful smile. "Owen," she replied, her voice full of emotion, "you've brought light back into my world. I'm falling in love with you too." My heart soared at her words, and I took her hand, saying, "Let's build a beautiful future together." With tears of joy in her eyes, Sophia squeezed my hand and whispered, "Yes, let's do that." In that perfect moment, we naturally drew closer, sharing our first kiss beneath the soft glow of the living room lights. That tender moment led to an evening of intimate connection. As we caught our breath afterward, we gazed at each other with wonder. The physical and emotional intimacy we'd shared felt overwhelming in the best possible way. Sophia's gentle touch, her sweet scent, and the warmth of her presence awakened something deep within me. We savored each precious moment of our connection. Age truly didn't matter. Our passion and love felt as vibrant and authentic as any young couple's. Our deep emotional bond and mutual understanding made our physical connection even more meaningful. Her tender touches transported me back to the passion of youth, and her gentle presence was captivating. She awakened every part of me with her loving caresses and soft sighs. Following her lead, we moved together in perfect harmony, our breaths synchronizing as our connection deepened. This intimate moment brought us even closer, healing old wounds and creating something beautiful and new between us. That night marked a profound turning point in our relationship. As we held each other close, we felt completely connected, and we made a silent promise to walk life's path together. Wrapped in Sophia's warmth, I could see our future stretching out before us, a future where our shared love would heal old wounds and bring us boundless joy. We drifted off to sleep in each other's arms, and I woke to find the morning sun painting golden patterns through the curtains. Sophia lay peacefully beside me, her face serene in sleep. Watching her, my heart swelled as I recalled the magical moments we'd shared the night before, cementing our bond. "Good morning, Owen," Sophia whispered softly as she stirred awake, her warm, gentle voice warming my soul. "Good morning, beautiful. Sleep well?" I asked. "Like a dream," she replied with a contented smile. Just having her next to me filled me with indescribable happiness. We fell into an easy rhythm making breakfast together, moving around the kitchen like we'd done it 1,000 times before. The simple act of flipping pancakes and brewing coffee felt incredibly intimate. "This coffee is amazing," Sophia commented. I couldn't help but grin. "You make everything better." Her eyes crinkled with pleasure at my words. Over coffee in the living room, we talked about what lay ahead. "What do you see for our future, Owen?" Sophia asked thoughtfully. I took her hand and spoke from my heart. "I want us to build a life together, Sophia. Nothing would make me happier than sharing my days with you." Tears glistened in her eyes as she squeezed my hand. "You make every day brighter, Owen. I want nothing more than to be with you." My heart soaring, I pulled her close and whispered, "Then let's create something beautiful together." We started making plans right away: walks through Central Park, Broadway shows, and weekend adventures. When Sophia suggested a picnic in the park the following weekend, I couldn't think of anything more perfect. That weekend, we spread out our blanket under a shady tree. Sophia had packed an incredible spread, gourmet sandwiches, and the freshest fruit salad I'd ever tasted. "You're an amazing cook," I told her honestly. She beamed. "It's more fun cooking for someone you care about." As the day wound down, we sat hand in hand on a park bench, watching the sunset paint the sky in brilliant oranges and pinks. The moment felt magical, and I wanted this moment to last forever. "I hope we can share moments like this forever," Sophia said softly. "We will," I promised. "You make every moment special." Back home that evening, we cuddled on the couch watching TV. When Sophia murmured, "Let's always be together like this," I wrapped her in my arms and said, "You're the most precious thing in my life." This was how our new chapter began. Two people who'd found each other later in life, healing old wounds and building something beautiful together. Our story showed that love can find you at any time, and our happiness seemed to inspire everyone around us. The following Sunday, we met for brunch at our favorite local cafe. As Sophia wrapped her hands around her steaming coffee mug, her contentment was evident in her smile. "These days with you make me so happy, Owen." My heart swelled as I replied, "Every moment with you is special." Later, we explored an art fair downtown, where Sophia's eyes lit up at every piece. Her enthusiasm was contagious as we wandered through the displays of modern art and handcrafted pieces, simply enjoying each other's company. "This brooch is absolutely stunning," she exclaimed, and I smiled warmly. "It would look perfect on you, Sophia." Her face lit up as she purchased it, proudly showing me her new treasure. We spent the rest of the afternoon discovering hidden gems throughout the city, each spot becoming part of our story. As autumn approached, We eagerly planned a trip to Central Park to see the spectacular fall colors, and for winter, we started arranging a cozy getaway to a mountain hot spring resort. Everything felt right with Sophia by my side. One peaceful evening, we were curled up on my living room sofa, sharing a bottle of wine and reminiscing about our journeys. Owen, she said softly, meeting you has brought me more joy than I ever thought possible. My heart swelled as I replied, Sophia, I feel exactly the same way. Every day with you makes my life richer and more meaningful. Her eyes glistened with emotion as she whispered, Thank you, Owen, reaching for my hand. I entwined my fingers with hers, promising, we'll face whatever comes next together. Our relationship had become an inspiration to everyone around us, showing that love knows no boundaries. Through our continued volunteer work at the community center, we formed deep connections with countless wonderful people. One afternoon, a staff member at the nursing home approached us with genuine appreciation. Owen, Sophia, you two have brought so much warmth and light to this place, she said. My heart full, I responded, we're the fortunate ones. Everyone here has enriched our lives beyond measure. Our story showed how love finds its way when you least expect it. By helping each other heal from past hurts and offering unwavering support, our bond grew stronger with each passing day. Sophia had become my reason to smile every morning, and I couldn't wait to see what adventures awaited us. During one of our evening strolls through the park, the setting sun painted the sky in brilliant shades of orange and pink. Owen, Sophia said thoughtfully, I hope we can stay together like this. I squeezed her hand gently and replied, You're all I need, Sophia. You make every day better. Her face glowed with happiness as she added, I can't wait to see what our future holds. Hand in hand, we walked slowly, savoring the beauty of finding love again. Together, we had overcome our past struggles and embarked on a beautiful new chapter. Sometimes the best things in life come when you're not looking for them. I knew deep in my heart that the path ahead with Sophia would be the greatest adventure of my life.